You're listening to the best of the Morning Mess Morning Show on 1320 KOZY.
Been another busy week in the news. Here we go. The White House says it is confident John Bolton will not testify at the...
For 25 years, we thaw sewer lines, water lines, rooter lines. We pump septics and dry wells, and commercially, residential, the whole works.
How long have you been customers of the Woodland Bank?
For over 25 years now. It's convenient.
I would say if you want great advice and, good people to deal with, as far as all the advice that goes with purchasing business, and I would recommend Kurt or Dave. Personal loan, same thing. I would recommend Woodland. Well, you're treated more like family when you go there instead of, you're a name, not a number. And the guys are awful good to us. Everybody, tellers, everybody.
Woodland Bank, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
That's the Woodland way.
Classic Radio weather.
Here's your KOZY weatherology forecast. A wind chill advisory continues until 9 a.m. this morning. Daytime highs approaching 8 above. Today, under sunny skies, winds out of the northeast around 5 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 1 below. Tonight, overcast skies. Cloudy skies expected again. Tomorrow, high temperatures reach up to 17. A dusting of snow tomorrow night. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Right now, 18 below.
Hi, this is James, owner of Caverly Computing, with today's Tech Talk. What is RAM? RAM stands for Random Access Memory. Think of it like your short-term memory versus your long-term memory, which would be your disk drive. RAM loads information from your hard drive and gets it ready for your processor, or your brain, to use. RAM is faster than your hard drive, and larger amounts of RAM can help improve your computer speed. Want to know more? Call us at 301-1460. This is James from Caverly Computing with today's Tech Talk.
It's time for the sports issue on 1320 and 93.1 KOZY.
Out to center, has Murphy going with him. Shot! Goal! Wade Browse makes it 4-2.
That's what I'm talking about.
Used McCray Murphy as the decoy and snuck it short side. And tipped away and taken away by Hansen. McKinney on the far side, inside the drive, the bucket for Hansen.
The sports issue is brought to you by Grand Itasca Clinic and Hospital, Jimmy John's, Anderson Glass, Donnellinger Ford, Woodland Bank, and Super One Foods.
Corner to Fothergill, the three, no. Rebound, nice hustle by Elias. Lays it home and we're tied. Murphy to Holcomb, centering pass, puck in front, shot, rebound, they score! Grand Rapids 3-1. This one will go to McCray Murphy.
The sports issue starts now on 93.1 and 1320 KOZY. And a happy Saturday morning to you and yours. Welcome to the sports issue on KOZY. Hope your weekend is off to a great start. I'm Joe Gigliotti along with Sheldon Willis. And Sheldon, I think you put it well when I came in this morning when you said, I think we're lacking degrees today.
Yeah, if degrees were in a bank account, we'd be overdrawn.
And it is 19 below right now. And in fact, temperature aside, do you know how cold it is? Sheldon, it is so cold that PJ Fleck can't even row the boat because the water is frozen.
Ba-dum-bump.
It is so cold. In fact, it's colder than the Timberwolves shooting threes. Just one more for you. Sheldon, it is so cold that if you threw a changeup right now at Target Field, it may freeze halfway to home plate. Even Miguel Sano can hit it. Don't worry, I didn't stay up too late writing those.
Good.
We're good. So, hey, if you're headed out, be careful. Bundle up. Doesn't take long for frostbite to set in. And one more weather note, MDI will not be offering their recycling services at Super One today. Anytime the air temp is 10 below or colder, services will be canceled. And we are well below 10 below.
Yes, we are. I actually saw 23 below on my car thermometer, which is generally accurate, right about Midway Homes coming in.
I would imagine this is an extra nice morning to have a heated garage.
Yes, it was.
Can I like borrow it next time?
No, it's full, but
it is.
It was really nice.
Okay.
Didn't need my jacket till I got out of my car here at work.
Excellent. So I will borrow that next time, and glad to have everybody along for the sports issue. On today's program, we'll be joined by Grand Rapids Hockey at 8:30, and then later on Greenway Hockey at 9:30, and those two teams are playing each other tonight at the Snake Pit in Coleraine. Always a very fun matchup when it's Greenway versus Grand Rapids in boys hockey. And looking forward to that, to those conversations.
It was interesting to me after the Duluth East game, talking to Braden Holcomb, and this is on the post-game interview. I said, so which is a bigger rivalry, Duluth East or Greenway? And there was no hesitation. Oh, Greenway. Of course.
Yep, he did not stutter. So that'll be tonight, Greenway and Grand Rapids in Coleraine. 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock face-off over on J105 The Thunder and J105radio.com. And in between our hockey interviews, 9:05 will air my conversation with Vikings radio analyst Pete Bursich. Caught up with Pete earlier in the week as he was getting set to take off for California. Vikings and 49ers today in the NFC divisional round. So, last night you were at the IRA Civic Center, kind of your home away from home for a couple days there.
It is. I'll be back there this afternoon.
You already miss it?
No, I can go, as long as it's not more than 24 hours, I'm good.
Excellent. So you're going to show up tomorrow?
You never know. It might just be habit.
Okay.
You see, I was planning on going ice fishing, so if you see me drilling a hole in the IRA ice, I got mixed up.
Just don't touch the roof, okay?
Okay.
All right. So last night, Lightning hockey at the IRA as they had their first of back-to-back section matchups. The Lightning taking on Elk River. Short on degrees this morning and short on goals last night.
It was. There were chances, and both goalies played very well. Ashley Hess had a great game, 34 saves on 35 shots or something real close to that?
Absolutely. And the Lightning pick up a 1-0 victory on a tip-in goal in the third. Here's Tom Downing with our recap.
The Lightning hockey team at the IRA Civic Center on a Friday night, they bring their record up to 8-7-2 with a 1-0 win over the Elk River Zimmerman Elks. And the scoring didn't happen till the third period, so let's mention the shots on goal in the first period. Lightning 17, Elk River Zimmerman only 6. 0-0 after one period. 0-0 after two periods. Only one penalty on Elk River in period number 2. That was a much more evenly played period as shots on goal end up being only 8-5 in favor of Grand Rapids, and still 0-0 after 2. We go to the third, and with 12:15 left, a shot from Caden Broking at the point. Nice low shot, and tipped in by Mercury Bischoff, and got the goal to make it 1-0 at that point.
Quickly to Broking. Broking looks for room.
There it is. Elk River did take late penalties that really allowed the Lightning to kill off that last minute of time, just controlling the puck and keeping it to the outside. And they did outshoot Elk River Zimmerman 13-4 in that third period, so they did regain control and outshoot them 38-15. They win 1-0. They're 8-7-2, drop Elk River to 7-12. And reporting from the IRA Civic Center, I'm Tom Downing.
And after the game, Sheldon caught up with Caden Broking and the goal scorer, Mercury Bischoff.
Post-game interview, Mercury Bischoff, Caden Broking, and we'll start with you, Caden. This was a game where goals were so hard to come by. It was a frustrating game in some ways.
Yeah, it was. They played hard, but we came out harder and we got on top.
And you were dominating, getting some chances, Mercury. What's it like in a game like that where the puck isn't going in the net?
I don't know. It's kind of stressful at first, but then you realize that you want it more and you want to hit it in.
And a physical game or a little bit of a clutchy, grabby game at times as well?
It was more of a clutchy, grabby game. It's always like that with those Section 7 games, and you know you want to win, so you come out gritty and battle the toughest, I guess.
And Mercury, you had a lot of time off over Christmas. It's been a long time since you played in this building. How do you stay sharp when you're not playing many games?
Well, a lot of us like to take a group outside and go skate, play with each other outside.
And you got to turn after going, almost a month without games. Now you play tonight, you play again tomorrow afternoon. How do you get ready for another tough game tomorrow?
Got to come up big in this game, a hard back-to-back, so just got to get our legs rested tonight and come back hard again tomorrow.
Well, Forest Lake's been a tough team for you in the last few years. You haven't been on the team in the last few years, Mercury, but what have you heard? What are you expecting tomorrow night?
I've heard they're pretty good, and I'm expecting they're going to come out hard, and we're going to have to come out even harder.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And tomorrow is now today as the Lightning take on Forest Lake this afternoon. Again, that was Mercury Bischoff and Caden Broking after the Lightning's 1-0 win over Elk River. The boys team has picked up a few section wins, and hopefully the Lightning can get a nice stretch of section wins going themselves. Again, they'll take on Forest Lake today. You're going to have a busy day. You'll be on the call for the Lightning game here on KOZY, 1:45 pregame, 2 o'clock face-off, and then later on tonight, Grand Rapids at Greenway.
And, Tom's going to go over and get all the equipment set up, so I just need to slide in and get ready to get on the air.
Absolutely. So, again, Lightning hockey, Grand Rapids hockey, all going on today, and a pretty big football game over on KMFY as the Vikings are at the 49ers. Some other girls' hockey scores from yesterday. Forest Lake all over Duluth, 12-0. We also had Alexandria 6-1 over East Grand Forks. Brainerd over Thief River Falls 4-0. Bemidji a 3-1 win over River Lakes. And Evelyn Gilbert a 5-4 win over Minnehaha. How about on the boys' side, Sheldon?
Boys' side, Hopkins takes down Hibbing 1-0. Duluth Denfeld, they've been making some noise in 7 single A. They take down Chanhassen 4-0. Virginia MIB over Sauk Rapids Rice 6-2. And Roseau defeats Greenway 6-0. That game was no score after 1, but then Roseau took over. Interesting, Roseau played at home the night before. That back-to-back games where you're 3+ hours apart on the venue seems a little odd to me. Eden Prairie downing Cloquet Esco Carleton 3-2, and I know Eden Prairie had a 3-0 lead in that game. Cloquet comes back, but not all the way. But that's a good showing for the Lumberjacks, and Grand Rapids will host Cloquet on Tuesday.
We'll take our first break here today. We'll come back. We'll talk some area basketball scores from yesterday. And also, Sheldon, coming up in a bit, I heard you say something on the air this week that made me chuckle, and I don't think I've ever heard you say it quite like it before. So we'll have that coming up in a bit here on KOZY.
Tires, tires, tires. Hey, Max here with Dollar Ford, and here's the deal. Rod, everyone knows we've got the cheapest tires in town. But what else should they know about our tires?
We rotate them free.
Are these things name brands?
Yes, Max. We carry Michelin, Goodyear, Dunlop, Yokohama, and Bridgestone.
And we're washing everybody's car, too?
Yep.
Well, you heard it here first. Not only do we have the cheapest tires in town, but we rotate them for free. We wash your car. We got the best brands down at Quick Lane at Dollar Ford on the big American flag in Rapids.
Hi, this is Ben Gook, physical therapist and certified athletic trainer at Grand Itasca. Our sports medicine team is committed to providing care to our local student athletes. We provide baseline concussion testing at many local schools and help to develop a safe return to play should an athlete have an injury or concussion. The Grand Itasca Sports Medicine Team is your first call for sports injury care. We'll get you back to the game as soon and as safely as possible.
Grand Itasca, part of Fairview Health Services.
Boss, there's a photographer out here who wants to do a piece on Jimmy John's for her magazine. What kind of peace?
Well, she heard about a clothing optional delivery policy and...
Did you tell her the naked driver incident was a momentary misunderstanding?
Yes, sir, but...
Did you tell her it's our meats that are going all natural, not our drivers?
Yes, sir, that's not...
Did you tell her Jimmy John's is committed to serving sandwiches with only the finest all-natural ham, roast beef, salami, bacon, and real fresh turkey breast?
Yes, sir, I did, sir.
So she wants to photograph our sandwiches?
No, sir. Actually, she wants to do a calendar.
A what?
A calendar. You know, the men of Jimmy John's.
Dibs on January.
If your windows stick, slip, squeak, or leak, replace them with Anderson Windows. With low E-glass, low maintenance exteriors, and rich wood interiors, standard and custom sizes, they can turn simple window replacement into serious home improvement.
Stop and see Derek, your Anderson window specialist at Anderson Glass, Grand Rapids.
You don't want to work just any place, and you don't want to work just any time. Maybe it's breakfast, maybe it's lunch, maybe it's late nights, maybe it's weekends. Whatever it is, you want to be challenged and have fun. We think we can fit in. McDonald's can help give you the tools to learn, grow, and be what you want to be. They're hiring crew and maintenance positions in Grand Rapids, Hibbing, and Chisholm. McDonald's, your next best job is waiting. Ba-da-dun-dun-dun. I'm loving it.
It is a chilly start to our weekend. We are at 18 below, but plenty of sunshine out there. And we'll have a high today around 8 above. Tonight, increasing clouds, a low near 2 below. Tomorrow, chance of snow showers and a high near 18. Snow likely tomorrow night. And then Monday, cloudy with a high near 22. Chance of snow on Tuesday, high of 25. Again, 18 below and sunshine. Our time is 8:22. And we'll get to some area basketball scores in just a moment here. But Sheldon, I do have to ask you here. At the end of this clip, there was quite the enthusiasm, not quite like I've heard it before. And this was from a little back and forth between Grand Rapids and Grand Rapids and Hermantown, rather, in hockey the other night. Chances for both teams, and just listen for the end here.
Back to Peart. Peart looks for room. Stick handle, shot right on, rebound, out front, still out front. Murphy fanned on it. Backhand, slide past the post. Peart going for the wraparound. That stop. Penalty's over. Thunderhawks had about 3 great chances. Now here's a 2-on-1 for Hermantown. Pass block still in front. Biondi can't find it. Shot, save, rebound, another save, and Clapton's on it.
Wow.
Woo, baby.
Woo, baby.
That was my Bobby Zolke imitation.
Was it? Now we have liners here at KOZY that drop in every now and then that promote our announcers and stuff, and I think we should make a new one. Sheldon Willis, afternoons.
Woo, baby.
On KOZY.
That was quite a sequence, though, with shots both ways, Rapids coming very close, and then the 2-on-1 the other way. It was that was one of the more fun hockey games that I have been at in a very long time. It would have been fun to crown Grand Rapids a winner in that game. They had their chances, but it was just incredibly fast hockey with great chances all around.
And that one ended in a 2-2 tie. Some basketball scores from the area last night. We'll start on the girls' side here. We had Brainerd 73-57 over Andover. Hastings 81-76 win over Hibbing. We also had Southridge 66-52 over Carleton. High-scoring game here, Chisholm over Mesabi East 87-82. Also 54-28 win for Barnum over McGregor. Nashwaukee-Waton continues with their strong season, 76-62 over Ely. And that was a late-night drive on a cold Friday night up to Ely. Also, Cromwell Wright, 66-47 over Two Harbors. Detroit Lakes, 57-52 win over Aiken. Virginia passed Pequot Lake, 77-64. And Northwoods, 92-56 over MIB. And I think that should. So again, that was on the girls' side.
No, those were boys'
I'm
scores.
sorry, those were boys' scores.
I was going to say, I thought you said girls,
I
but
did.
I knew those were boys' scores.
In fact, and the one I was going to lead into was the boys' matchup between Big Fork and Hill City last night, and it was a good one. At one point, tied 30-30, and touch and go all the way through. And Big Fork picks up the win. David Moody has a recap.
With your post-game wrap-up of the Big Fork Huskies home basketball matchup against the Hill City Hornets, I'm David Moody reporting. It was a close game. At the half, the Hill City Hornets led 35-30. At the end of the game, the Big Fork Huskies led 63-55. The Huskies escape with the win at home. In the end stretch, it really came down to free throw shooting. Big Fork Huskies were in the double bonus. They got to the line a lot, and they had limited the fouls they did on the Hornets. So the Hornets weren't in the bonus at all. Big Fork in the double bonus. The free throws really played a big factor in the stretch. As again, Big Fork with that win, 63-55. In the first half, Big Fork really started the game out strong. The full court press allowed them to take an early lead, but Hill City kept chopping away, and a lot of which came on the strong play by Hunter Gerber, who did a good job escaping the defensive eyes, finding the soft spots in the defense. He'd get the pass. Oh, great pass to Gerber. He drew all the attention again, had three defenders around him. Gerber misses his first shot, but then he gets his rebound and scores again, so that robs Gowell of the assist. Good team ball by the Hornets, and they had that halftime lead, 35-30. Speaking of the first half, by the way, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention for the Big Fork Husky, Jared Lovedahl's big first half, 15 points on his way to 25 in the game. He was really shooting lights out tonight, as was Jackson Lovedahl. Jackson Lovedahl had a couple of real deep threes in the game for the Big Fork Huskies. In the second half, again, a lot of it came down to foul shooting for the Big Fork Huskies, but a real pivotal moment in that game came when the score was tied 53-53. The Big Fork Huskies had the ball. They got to Liam Prado. He scored down low. Liam Prado gets the pass in the near corner, dribbles it all the way to the low post, double teamed, and yet he just rose up, and it was like a flat-footed shot. It was awkward looking, but he got it to fall, and then on the inbound, stolen away by Jared Lovedahl, who takes it himself to the hole. So all of a sudden now, the Huskies with a 4-point lead. Quickly, it was a 4-point lead for the Huskies. Only a couple of minutes left in the game. The Hornets could not recover. They had a couple of opportunities at a couple deep threes. They missed those shots down the end. Huskies hang on for the 63-55 win. Again, Jared Lovedahl had a whale of a game. He had 25 points for the Big Fork Huskies. Also scoring for Big Fork, Jackson Lovedahl had 16, Ben Heinley with 6, James Rousey with 2, and Liam Prado with 11. For the Hill City Hornets, they got 6 points from Taylor Wagner. Seth St. Martin had 3. Brendan Humphrey had 1. Thor Dunham had 2. 18 points for Hunter Gerber. Again, he played extremely well. 6 points for Tucker Holm, and then 18 for Big Bad John Gowell. He was a force on both ends of the court for the Hornets. Final score, 63-55. The Big Fork Huskies earned the win. With your post-game wrap-up, David Moody reporting.
And after the game, he caught up with Jared Lovedahl of the Huskies.
Got Jared Lovedahl standing next to me here today. Jared, you were shooting lights out today, man.
Yeah, it felt good.
Now, with Hill City, it seemed like a real back-and-forth game here today. Comes down to the final minutes. You guys really closed it out. What did you do there to earn that win?
We just tried to stay as calm as we can, take control of the ball, and not do anything stupid and finish it out.
And, really came down to some free throws at the end, too. You guys did a good job in the second half, limiting your fouls, and then, you got them getting you guys fouls. Is that what it came down to?
Yeah, pretty much. Eventually, once the time wore away, they started following us, and we hit some free throws, so that kind of sealed it off.
And, a few games after the Christmas break, how do you feel like your guys' team is progressing as this season's gone along?
I feel like it's getting better. It's been pretty rough so far, but I think everybody's kind of starting to mellow out, and we're playing ball again, and I think we'll be okay.
And, hey, it's always good when you win.
Yeah.
So congrats on the victory, man.
Thank you. Thanks.
Big Fork's Jared Lovedahl after the Huskies win over Hill City last night in a good boys basketball game. And again, we already ran down some boys scores from yesterday. And here we go. Now I'll actually run down some girls scores as we attempted to do on the first try. As we get, let's narrow this down a bit to just the Northland scores. There we go. That looks better. Here we go. Black Duck 67-49 over Kellier Northome. Cook County 38-35 over Floodwood. We also had Brainerd 79-42 over St. Cloud Apollo. Lake of the Woods 72-34 over Warroad. It was Proctor 59-35 defeating Cherry. And going down the list a little bit more here, Grand Rapids 49-31 over East Grand Forks. Congrats to the Thunderhawks on the win. And there are some area girls basketball scores from yesterday. Any other scores that caught your attention?
Well, I did just have a few stats from the Grand Rapids win. Taryn Hamling with 17 and Jenny Bowman with 10 points to lead the Thunderhawks.
And we'll take a break. We have M&N News coming up shortly. Also, Grand Rapids Hockey in studio next. KOZY.
Tires, tires, tires. Hey, Max here with Dollar Ford. Here's the deal. Rod, everyone knows we've got the cheapest tires in town. What else should they know about our tires?
You rotate them free.
Are these things name brands?
Yes, Max. We carry Michelin, Goodyear, Dunlop, Yokohama, and Bridgestone.
And we're washing everybody's car, too?
Yep.
Well, you heard it here first. Not only do we have the cheapest tires in town, but we rotate them for free. We wash your car. We got the best brands down at Quick Lane at Dollar Ford on the big American flag in Rapids.
Super One Foods is ready for a new year with the same great quality, fresh products and service. On sale this week, New York strip steak, $6.96 a pound, and boneless, skinless, fresh chicken breast, $1.66 a pound family pack. No meal is complete without your greens. Pick up Fresh Express baby spinach, leafy green romaine, or other salad blends, 11-ounce bag, $1.99. Or maybe you're wanting to serve a fruit salad, 6-ounce raspberries, blackberries, or blueberries, 2 for $5. Super One Foods, proud to be a part of your community.
Minnesota News Network, I'm Brent Palm. Governor Tim Walz blasted Republicans at the Capitol, accusing them of ruling out his $2 billion bonding request for public works projects before he's even released all the details.
At least hold it until next Wednesday when you see it, because now it's clear this has nothing to do with the projects. It has everything to do with an arbitrary number.
Senate Republican leader Paul Gazelka responds budget surpluses come and go, but the state must be responsible in how much debt it takes on. An 18-year-old suspect's jailed after a deadly shooting near Rochester Community and Technical College. Police say Robert Sally Jr. was arrested at a mobile home park about an hour later and a gun was recovered. A 24-year-old man was found dead in a parking lot. He has not yet been identified. And Senator Amy Klobuchar distant fifth place in Iowa at 6% in the latest Democratic presidential primary poll by the Des Moines Register. This is MNN.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom. I had no idea how hard it would be and what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood and ways for me to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics, but also information about the hurdles I was facing. Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Are you thinking about buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to find an online pharmacy that's safe and legal, visit fda.gov/BeSafeRx. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Classic Radio weather.
Here's your KOZY weatherology forecast. A wind chill advisory continues until 9 a.m. this morning. Daytime highs approaching 8 above. Today, under sunny skies, winds out of the northeast around 5 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 1 below. Tonight, overcast skies. Cloudy skies expected again. Tomorrow, high temperatures reach up to 17. A dusting of snow tomorrow night. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Right now, 18 below.
Welcome back to the Sports Issue on KOZY, AM 1320, FM 93.1. Also available on the free KOZY mobile app. You can hear us on Paul Bunyan Television, channel 952. Give us a like on Facebook, and we're smart speaker friendly. Alexa, play KOZY Radio. And it is the Sports Issue, live streaming at KOZYradio.com, and a YouTube link up there as well. Or you can just search Twitter at Sheldon KOZY. All sorts of ways to listen to us. And right now, happy to welcome in Grand Rapids Hockey as they get set to take on Greenway tonight. So far, joined by Coach Chido.
Yes, Coach Chido's here, and I saw a car driving in the driveway, so I assume if you're watching the YouTube feed, soon right down the hallway we're going to see McRae come in, and we got some others lined up. Everything goes slower when it's 20 below, Coach.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but it was kind of funny. I told him probably 4 times in about a 10-minute span to be here by 8:30, and I think it's past 8:30 if I'm correct.
It is. So they're all late.
They
Don't. This isn't like missing practice, so don't sit them for a period tonight over this.
Yeah, no, I think I'll give him a pass on it, but I think one of them standing outside as I see and talking on the phone. I'm guessing he's talking to Easton Young.
And trying to,
give him directions how to get here. That's my guess.
We are tucked away over by the Restore, by the airports. You've been here before. McRae's been here before. But sometimes the younger ones, we got to give them instructions. Just.
Well, well, that's another question I asked him too. Is do you know where you're going? And Brandon just kind of looked at me, and McRae's like, yeah, I got it. And Easton goes, I have no idea, Coach. That's exactly how he said it.
So as long as he has an idea where he's going on the ice.
Yeah, I hope so.
So a win and a tie so far this week in games that were as different as 2 high school hockey games can be. The score was similar. That was the only 2 things similar about the 2 games this week.
Yeah, it was very odd. You go from Hermantown team that presses all over, like probably this year the hardest team that's ever came at us, and then you go for the total opposite where Randolph and the East team, they just pack it in the neutral zone like you can't believe, and put 10 guys, like you said before we got on here, they literally put 5 guys between the 2 Blues.
And do you ever think of doing? And this video came up on my YouTube link from back a number of years ago when Philadelphia just kept the puck in their own zone and waited for someone to forecheck and just would not come out of the zone until a forechecker was sent.
Well, basically what I was trying to get the kids to do is chip and go and get pucks low, and I think what happened was because we haven't seen it, and I'm glad they actually did it against us, because if we end up seeing them in the playoffs, we all have a better understanding that what my
Hey, don't be shy. Come on in.
Oh, you guys made it late, but you made it. Is Easton's coming?
Yeah, he's right at the door.
We're live, just so you guys know.
Yeah, we're ready to go. There's no. There's no introduction or way to prepare. We're just sit down and go. Hey, we got everyone here. Have a seat. How about if we give?
There you go.
There we go. We'll even give you your own mic. How's that? You show up late and you get your own microphone. It doesn't fit in there. Sorry. Nope. You got to hold it.
All right. Morning, guys.
Morning.
Okay, now let's get back to hockey. Now that we've got this, but for Duluth East, I mean that for Mike Randolph, it's just the way. That's not the way he plays every year, but it's what he's decided. This year gives him the best chance to win.
Yeah, which is fine. You know what? Like I said earlier, we just didn't chip pucks and go. We got to get pucks behind the D, and we didn't do it. And then we created a lot of issues for our own self and trying to one-on-one guys and. When you do that against what they're doing, you're playing right into their system, and but it's fine. When we get them again in the playoffs, we'll know better. The kids will know better that it's easier to create opportunities by getting pucks behind the D and going.
So, McRae, I started off by saying how much different that game against East looked than Hermantown. Is it hard to adjust to that much of a different style from one game to the other with just a game in between?
Well, I don't really think it's that hard to adjust. I mean, I'm senior this year, so I'm kind of used to the whole adjusting part, so yeah.
And is that as crowded as the neutral zone has been in your high school career, McRae?
I mean, not really. I mean, that trap they had going was kind of a little different, but they've been doing it for however many years. But I didn't really like how they played it. But like Coach said, we kind of messed ourselves up by not getting the puck out.
So everyone knows Coach Chido, I think, and McRae and
Ren Morquay and Easton
and Easton Young. So Easton, we'll go over to you. And talking about the trap a little bit more, how does that affect how the defense is playing on the breakout?
Well, it honestly let us control the puck behind the net a little while and then have them come to us first. And obviously we had to make a play up the ice, which is usually what we have to do, but this time we had to go a little bit up the ice before we had to make that play.
So you have a lot more time to get started, but then it just, when you're looking up at center ice, there's no one open, right?
Yeah.
You feel like a quarterback when the secondary's playing coverage, right?
Yep.
There's no one to throw to.
No, there's nobody. But towards the end, we started to make a couple of those plays, though.
Well, one of the odd plays that happened in that game was the power play goal that turned into a power play against. Go through a little bit of what happened in the conversation with the referee after that, because it was just one of those very odd situations in a game.
Well, number one, I didn't know that they had a delayed call on East at the time, and I was more worried about what John Bonner did than what the whole situation was about. And ultimately, he explained it, and the problem is I couldn't have a rebuttal because I really didn't know the answer either. So they had a delayed call on East, which would have gave us a 5-on-3, obviously. And then after the whistles, John decided to have it unsportsmanlike. And so I don't know if they really knew, and I didn't know, so I couldn't really say anything to the ref. And I was like, well, I know the fact that we cancel out, but I don't know where the face-off is. I couldn't say much.
And when the coach doesn't quite know, the referees are a little unsure. Now, I had referees telling me last night that the goal shouldn't have canceled out both penalties. Is that, both the delayed and the one you were on?
Well, the only thing I had was it was a coincidental.
Yeah,
that's what I was looking at. Because, but I don't know where the face-off should have been and all that stuff. But my thought was it was coincidental, so it should have been actually a 5-on-5 at that point because we scored.
Right.
One penalty's out. It should have been basically a wash. John goes to the box, and whoever else goes to the box, and then we move on. But again, because of the delay, the time frame between the two calls, I don't know if it's like football when you're reffing. You get a dead ball call and you got a live ball call, and there's two different rules for it. So I don't know. I didn't have the answer, and I wasn't about to. If I don't know what the answer is, I'm not going to get on the refs about it.
Well, as long as they let the goal stand, you're not going to get.
I wasn't worried about that.
Yeah, absolutely. But as a fan, you see the hand in the air, the puck goes in, and you say, well, there's going to be a delayed penalty on Duluth East. And then Rapids is in the box. All of a sudden you say, well, how did the goal score if there's a delayed penalty on Rapids? That's not what was going on.
No, they had the delayed penalty. We got it after the whistle. That's how we got it.
So, any of the three, have you been in a situation like that before?
I don't think so.
I don't think I have either, where the ref has arm up for the other team and then we end up getting the penalty. It seems kind of odd.
Yeah, it was talk about, and we've got a senior and two guys that are first-year varsity. Mm-hmm. So talk about adjusting to varsity play, and what would you say the biggest difference is between Bantam AA last year and varsity this year?
I honestly think that instead of the one or two guys on like a team that were solid players, like the whole team has a bunch of guys that are fast, strong, quick, big, and it's a lot harder to play, I guess. And
yeah, people are just bigger, stronger, faster. It's just a different game to play to.
More physical, is that?
Yeah.
I mean, Bantam AA is pretty fast hockey as well, right?
Yeah. Yep.
It's quick, skilled hockey.
Now kids are bigger and faster.
Yeah, guys like McRae want to knock you around, right? Hey, is that something that's been emphasized this year, McRae, is to become a little more physical, especially for seniors like yourself and maybe Grant Wilson, some other guys like that? I don't know if you have to tell Grant to hit anybody, but
Yeah, no. Well, we kind of want everyone playing physical throughout the game. You know, it's kind of, we had a problem with that earlier in the season. We still kind of do. Physical is always like a good thing to have in a game. Just slows the other team down. But yeah, a little more physical would help us out.
And is that something you talk about adjusting to varsity? Is that something you're trying to bring to your game? It's not the main part of your game, right, Easton?
Yeah, it's not, but it's obviously another aspect that needs to get better in my game and everybody's game.
And Ren, I've talked about you as someone who in the corners is just really good at finding the angle and able to get leverage to the puck. Is that something that's come naturally to you? You seem to win a lot of one-on-one battles down low.
Yeah, I mean, that's a natural thing, but people can still get better at that in practice and stuff too.
Who's the hardest guy the hardest forward to take the puck away from on the Grand Rapids team?
On the Grand Rapids team?
Yeah.
Joey Del Greco. He's just small and slippery. Hard to get him.
Now there's someone you need to hit, right?
For sure.
And how do you do that? Because and you watch him, he doesn't get hit that often.
Yeah, I know. He just slips by guys. It's a good. It's like one of his. What do I want to say? Pluses of his game. Like he can just slip by guys, and it's like, how did he just do that? I don't know.
You're chuckling, McRae. What?
Yeah, I totally agree. He's small and he's slippery. Yeah.
Because you've been playing on his line, right, and watching him.
Yeah, I've been going in and out playing with him. I like playing with him. New player, it's fun.
Does he speed the game up?
You could say he speeds the game up or slows the game down. Yeah.
Which way? See, yeah, it feels like the game's going quick when he has the puck. When Jack has the puck, it seems like the game just everything stops.
Yeah, just creating time and space for themselves. Yeah.
Now, and you've been paired up a lot with Jack Peart. Is that something that you've had throughout your minor hockey, like kind of an every other year thing that you get paired with Jack a lot?
No, not.
Not really?
Not really. I played with them in the summer a little bit, and
okay.
That was all. I actually just moved here from Eveleth in my, I don't want to say third year Bantams, and I really didn't get to play with Jack that year. And this year was the first time I got to play with Jack in like a Grand Rapids jersey, which is a pretty good thing.
And what is because it looks like you guys have played together a long time. Do you just feel the game a lot the same?
Yeah, it's kind of been the same since we played together almost all year, and then in the summer years too, we just kind of knew where we are, and then he'll go up the ice, and then I'll give him the puck, and sometimes I'll go up the ice and he'll hit me with a pass, and lots of times I won't be ready for it, but I'm working on that right now. So. That is true. I love playing with Jack. He's a good player, and he makes me better, and I feel like I'm making him better, but I don't want to say that.
Well, it make every forward the defenseman this year, and Jack probably leads it, but it's these guys too. If you get open, you better have your stick on the ice. If you're a forward, McRae, they're going to get you.
Yeah, I know. Defense are a lot better than we had in the previous years. I'm talking a lot better. We had struggled with our D-core in the past years, but this year's been a pretty good year.
Go ahead.
All right, chatting with Grand Rapids Hockey here on the Sports Issue. Coach Chido, for a big week like this with games against Hermantown, East, and Greenway, do you prepare any differently in practice? Any extra drills, anything like that?
No, not really. You should be ready to go. You think about it, it's three big teams and fun atmospheres in all three areas, and we just do the same thing, same common goals, going to practice. We did a little variation yesterday because I thought we struggled catching passes in the Duluth East game, so we did a simple drill where we had guys skating on the ice and we passed the puck hard. How many guys caught it on their backhand?
I did, every time.
Mac says he caught it on it. Did you, Easton?
No, I had lots of trouble catching it on my backhand, but
Yeah, so we did a little variation yesterday, but it's nothing different. Every game's the same game, and obviously, we implement a few different ideas or whatever for whoever we're playing. But other than that, we get ready to go.
And with 12 games under your belt, or 12, 13 games, do you feel like you're settling into the Grand Rapids role?
Oh yeah, it's coaching. I've coached a long time. I'm not worried about where you're at, or what jersey or jacket you have on. You do the same philosophy, same way of approaching things. I've fit in right away. I'm fine. I'm good to go. A lot of these kids I coached anyway in the elite league, so I know half of them, and no, it's good.
Speaking of knowing kids, Easton, do you know a lot of the Greenway kids?
Actually, I don't know too many of them. I've met a few of them along the way, and I think they're nice guys, but lots of these, well, I'm originally from Eveleth, so lots of these Rapids guys really have no interest in the Greenway guys, so I got to buy into it.
What do you think of Eveleth and Virginia eventually merging?
That was kind of a hard thing to take, honestly. They've been a rivalry for how long, and it's kind of been a weird change for me, and it's going to be a weird change for everybody, but I'm kind of happy for the two programs that are getting together. They should make a good, strong team, or strong hockey team and strong other sports teams too, which I'm excited to watch those teams, and good luck for them anyway.
Ren or McRae, you guys know the Greenway guys? Are you close to them at all? Or?
I mean, yeah, I know probably every single kid on the Greenway team. Ben Trombley's my cousin, so I mean, bigger rivalry for me than most kids probably.
Any smack talk with Ben this week?
Oh yeah, we've been texting over the phone or whatever, but it all leads up to the game.
Ren, are you close with any of the Raiders?
Yeah, I know a couple of them, but we just got to go out there and do our thing today.
So, feel-wise, and I know you were around the Eveleth and that Eveleth-Virginia rivalry, which I covered for a little while. Is this a bigger rivalry or that one? Which feels bigger at this point?
As of right now, I feel like this rivalry is a little bit bigger since they're pre-selling the tickets, like at the school, and what is it, 12-2 or
12-2, and a very good reminder. 12-2 at the arena if you want early tickets, so you don't have to stand in line at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, they never had that over in Eveleth and Virginia, where you could buy early tickets, which kind of seems like a big deal.
Yeah, and if you don't get there early, you're probably going to have to park in Bovee and walk, I think. not a huge amount of parking at the Snake Pit.
Well, Sheldon, any room in your driveway or the garage or anything for people?
No, I'm too far away, but I may park at my son-in-law's place in Bovee. We'll see. And talk about catching passes on the backhand. Easton, maybe you need to talk to some old-timers here and borrow some old wood sticks without so much curve on them. A little more give.
Yeah, for sure.
John Rothstein might have a stick in his garage that'd help you with that.
Yeah, I know. Those probably did help you with the backhand pass or catches, but probably a lot harder to shoot with a flat stick anyway.
So does anyone practice a backhand shot anymore?
Yeah, I do a lot, actually.
You do? Okay.
There's a couple here and there, definitely.
My Bantam coach in Eveleth, we would always do this, what's his name, John Mariucci. He would always do this drill where we would just come around the circle, and if you're on your forehand, you'd obviously take a forehand shot, and then if you're on your backhand, he always said to take a backhand shot, which really helped my backhand, but since I broke my wrist early this year, it's been a little harder for me to shoot a backhand.
Well, what's the key to a good backhand?
Depends where you're going with the puck. I mean, if you want to get it out and up, get under it, and keep it low, just shoot it hard.
Well, what's the key for getting a decent backhand off, McRae?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone has their own way. I like to go to heel to toe and just sauce it off there, and then just get good leverage. But that's what I do anyway.
And some forearm strength, because you can't wind it up and get your body into it, right?
Yeah.
You're using your arms
Yep.
to make the shot. Let's go back a little. We haven't talked specifically about the Hermantown game, which was earlier this week. Is that as fast as you guys have had to play this year?
Yeah, I think Hermantown has been, I want to say, the best team we've played this year. The fastest for sure. And Biondi was definitely a hard player to play against. He's quick. He makes quick decisions with the puck. He shoots the puck, which, as a defender, it's kind of hard to get the stick on the puck. And I think we did that throughout the game, which is probably one of our goals, to not let him shoot the puck, and which is good anyway. He was a hard player to play against.
McCray, what were some of the challenges for the forwards in that game?
Well, I mean, I struggled on the wall a little bit. I mean, D would like ring the puck or whatever. Their D would pinch down. You know, it's kind of just a cram on the wall. So struggled to getting the puck out of the zone.
And I know you're probably not the one I see do it the most, but it's so tempting to do that little no-look backhand tip pass into the middle.
Yeah, you're just hoping your center's there swinging through.
Yeah.
You better be hoping.
You better know that's going on, right? Yeah. Do you get yelled at if you do that and your center's not there?
Yeah.
He's throwing a pizza out there.
Yeah. It looks really pretty when it works, Coach.
No, I honestly, no, I don't like that play. But
okay.
I know it happens, but that means that you got to be in better position or you're late getting to where your spots are and all that stuff.
So would you classify that as a bit of a lazy play? It's one where you're caught a little bit and you say, okay, we can just do this?
It might be a situation where it's a quick transition where we're playing defense and then we got to get to the rail and the guy's coming late or whatever. You know, it could be all kinds of situations like that. But I don't like that blind, pretend I'm going to chip it to the middle of the ice. We don't have a whole lot of Sidney Crosby's running around. So, those kind of guys, yeah, but rather catch it. Let's make a play, hard play off the ball, make whatever.
Turn and do something intentional.
Yeah, if you know you're in a tough situation, you know what, you live for another day. You get it out hard off the wall. Obviously, if you guys got a guy coming underneath you, our centers haven't been low enough recently. They've been too high. They got to be below the puck when we're breaking the puck out, and that's been part of the problem too.
So going up again, and we've talked a little bit about the rivalry with Greenway, the last 2 years. This will be the fifth one, right? You won the first 2 years, then lost the last two. Is there a little bit of you want to put your statement on this game and this season and say, hey, we're back to beating Greenway?
Well, I mean, it's my senior year, so it's going to be my last year playing Greenway ever. So I'm going to make it sure it's a good one.
And Greenway certainly has had a great team the last couple of years. You guys weren't in the last 2 years of Rapids hockey at the varsity level, but does it feel different this year? Does it feel like there's some buzz around the community and around hockey games again?
Yeah, for sure. Especially losing the last 2 years against them, it's a big one for us anyway to bounce back and get this one for sure.
So, Ren, you expect probably the loudest crowd you'll hear this year?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we're playing in, not so big of a rink, but there's going to be 5,000 people there. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be standing room only as usual. What do you think? Maybe a late arriving crowd if the Vikings game is close?
Yeah, I don't know what'll happen, but it'll be good. There'll be lots of people.
Because the Vikings game should be ending about the time you face off. So maybe during warm-ups you can see everyone on their phones watching the end of that. 3 games again next week. Do you like these 3 game weeks?
Yeah, I do. I mean, last year in Bantams we played 65 games, so I like playing more games.
It felt like a vacation the last month until this week, right? Game a week. Have to listen to the coach yell at you for 4 or 5 practices.
Yeah, but
say no one took the bait on that one, Coach.
I don't say anything.
Who raises his voice most in practice? Players or coach, it doesn't matter. Who's loudest in practice?
Probably Coach Chido for sure.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna go with.
You agreed with that, Ren? Because you've got assistant coaches that aren't real big screamers as well. I cannot imagine Bo ever yelling at anybody.
Well, part of the problem is Dale Anderson's so short. You can't hear his voice when he gets upset.
Well, yeah, if you were on the JV team, maybe Dale. But
oh, he's out there. He's helping. Dale's a big part of our varsity team too.
Okay.
And we all take on different personalities. So,
who's the loudest player on the ice in practice? Who makes the most noise?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I want to say Brandon Goring, but I don't know. He does this screeching noise whenever he's like skating up the ice, and it's.
Does he do it during games too to mess up the defenseman? Is that?
I haven't heard him do it in the games, but maybe we'll have to convince him maybe tonight.
Does it make it harder to cover him when he's screeching coming up the ice?
Not really, because then you know it's there.
You can hear him coming.
You can hear him coming.
So is that is that my new nickname for Brandon? Instead of Go-Go, we'll call him Screech?
I mean, you can call him whatever you want to.
Because I saw Dale is the one who comes up with people's nicknames, I'm told, right?
I mean, you could say that.
Yeah, he does in front of me. He's saying random names, and I'm like, who are you talking about? He just sandwiches two words together and makes up a name.
And comes up with something. Yeah. So but he doesn't call. Does he call you a nickname to your face?
I mean, he calls me Mac. I mean, a lot of people call me that, though. It's a lot shorter than my real name.
Okay, yeah, that's just because McRae is too
long.
We can't go with 2 syllables?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got, I don't know, he calls me Younger all the time, but I don't get that from too many guys.
See, he borrowed a syllable from McRae's name and added it to yours.
Yeah.
He calls me Morksy because I guess my name's too hard to say.
Okay, it's Morquay, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I've had it right all year?
You've had it right.
Okay. Well, Grandma came up and said she liked our broadcast, so I assumed I wasn't screwing up the name. Well, it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. We're looking forward to it, and 3 games next week. Thanks for getting up on a cold morning and coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
All right, that's Grand Rapids Hockey here on the Sports Issue. Coach Wade Chido, also Easton Young, Ren Morquay, and thanks, guys, for coming in here this morning. And we'll take a break on the Sports Issue. We'll come back in about 5-7 minutes. We'll be joined by Pete Bursich. We'll hear my conversation I had with the Vikings radio analyst earlier in the week as the Vikings take on the 49ers this afternoon. KOZY.
It's time for the Car Care Tip of the Day, sponsored by Hibbing Chrysler Center.
Hibbing Chrysler Center is kicking off the new year with their Wheel of a Deal event. Right now at Hibbing Chrysler Center, with the purchase of any certified pre-owned or new vehicle in stock, you get to spin the wheel for prizes like eBay certificates, remote starts, and more. Hibbing Chrysler Center has over 40 certified pre-owned vehicles in stock, and their prices won't be beat. Get 2018 Grand Caravans starting as low as $13,999. And yes, every Ram truck and Jeep in stock are on sale and qualify for the Spin of the Wheel event. Hibbing Chrysler Center has 2018 Ram 1500s starting at only $18,999. New year, new for you vehicle. Hurry to Hibbing Chrysler Center, the Northland's exclusive certified pre-owned headquarters. Right on the Beltline, right on the corner, and right on the price.
Everybody gets a great deal. Everybody gets a great deal.
With today's Car Care Tip, I'm Tim Edwards. Headlights are an active safety item and the first line of defense on a vehicle. If you can't see objects in the road, you can't react. To prevent this, drivers must be proactive about headlight maintenance. Proper maintenance maximizes the amount you can see down the road and side road, which can mean additional reaction time, helping you avoid hazards that cause accidents. When it comes to headlights, you need to know there are a variety of choices available on the market to suit your individual needs. There are options available that offer brighter down-road visibility or wider light, which improves contrast and helps you distinguish objects on the side of the road better than basic headlights. Changing your headlight bulb can be a simple process that may not require a mechanic or service professional. In fact, various online guides and resources exist to help you swap out your headlight bulbs in a matter of minutes. Consult your owner's manual for bulb and headlight replacement procedures, needed tools, and safety precautions. That's today's Car Care Tip. I'm Tim Edwards.
The Car Care Tip of the Day, sponsored by the Hibbing Chrysler Center. Listen for the Car Care Tip of the Day, 8:50 a.m. on 1320 KOZY.
You don't want to work just any place, and you don't want to work just any time. Maybe it's breakfast, maybe it's lunch, maybe it's late nights, maybe it's weekends. Whatever it is, you want to be challenged and have fun. We think we can fit in. McDonald's can help give you the tools to learn, grow, and be what you want to be. They're hiring crew and maintenance positions in Grand Rapids, Hibbing, and Chisholm. McDonald's, your next best job is waiting. Ba-da-dun-dun-dun. I'm loving it.
We're here with Sue and Brian Harris, owners of Eagle Nest Lodge.
We've got 14 cabins from 1 to 5 bedrooms in size, and we're on the north shore of Cutfoot Sioux Lake, which is a bay on the northeast corner of Big Winnie.
Oh, we are a very family-friendly, fabulous location resort, one of the best beaches in the state.
Well, we were struggling with another local bank. We had an initial conversation with Kurt and then have been working quite a bit with Wayne. We got the immediate impression that they wanted to be on our team and work with us and help us to move forward. So it's been a wonderful experience.
I think everyone we've worked with has been fabulous. They've been just very supportive and just really easy to work with.
I think they're the friendliest bank around.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
That's the Woodland Way.
Classic Hit Radio, 1320 KOZY Grand Rapids, and FM 93.1.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Mounting evidence leading to Iran's admission it was a missile strike that downed the Ukrainian passenger jet that crashed after takeoff from Tehran. Iran's military firing those missiles hours after it launched attacks against U.S. military bases in Iraq. Retaliation for the American drone strike that killed Iranian General Qasem Soleimani.
Why'd Iran admit it? Once they allowed international inspectors in, they weren't going to be able to cover up the preponderance of the evidence.
ABC News aviation military consultant Colonel Steve Gagnon.
We're seeing pictures of spent missiles on the ground, and we're seeing shrapnel holes in the side of the aircraft wreckage.
Question from pilot and ABC News aviation consultant John Nance.
Why was in essentially a war zone a civilian airliner allowed to depart or arrive at all?
Ukraine's President Zelensky demanding Iran bring those responsible to justice and pay compensation to victims' families. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
The crash killing all on board, including 57 Canadians. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau today says his focus will be on justice for the families. President Trump, in an interview defending the killing of Soleimani, saying that the Iranian military and Soleimani were planning attacks against Americans in the region. ABC's David Wright is at the White House.
The president was pressed on that by Fox News' Laura Ingraham on Friday, and he went a little bit further, saying that he believed that there were 4 embassies that were under immediate threat. He won't say what those embassies were.
The Defense Department this morning saying 2 U.S. service members were killed, 2 others wounded in Afghanistan today when their vehicle was struck by an IED in the Kandahar province. They were conducting operations as part of NATO's Resolute Support mission. Reports of possible tornadoes in the south being blamed for at least 3 deaths in Louisiana. Bossier Parish Sheriff's Office confirming 2 of those deaths were an elderly couple found near their demolished trailer home. You're listening to ABC News.
At Booking.com, our search filters make it easy to book the perfect place to stay to check off any New Year's resolution. Want to be more active this year? Book a resort with a fitness center at Booking.com. Check. Want to shorten your commute? Book a ski lodge right by the lifts at Booking.com. Check. Or do you want to worry less in 2020? Then book a vacation home with a relaxing hot tub. Check. At Booking.com, there's a booking for every resolution. Download the app and book now.
Welcome back to Sports View. Next topic. Is it really all about power? Makes me think of Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Gives you the power to find options based on your budget. Let's go to Chuck for an irrelevant analogy.
Man, back in the day, people didn't ask how many oranges are in the crate. They just took the oranges. They didn't say, are there 6, 7, 12, 15, whatever. It was just oranges. You get me?
We get you, Chuck. In a word, oranges.
Give it to us straight with the Progressive Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
In Puerto Rico, another powerful earthquake today centered off the coast. No tsunami danger, but it comes as the island is trying to recover from a string of quakes and aftershocks this week. Texas Governor Greg Abbott says he will not allow his state to accept the resettlement of new refugees any longer. Abbott writing in a letter on Friday that Texas has been left by Congress to deal with a disproportionate migration issue. It is a blow to organizations that help people relocate in that state. Krish Vinaraja, Lutheran Immigration and Refugee Service President and CEO, says it will affect thousands of refugees already in that state.
It's devastating. There are families that have been waiting literally years to be reunified with family members.
Texas becoming the first state to opt out of that resettlement program. Queen Elizabeth is said to be quite upset over this week's announcement from the Duke and Duchess of Sussex that her royal grandson Harry and wife Meghan took Buckingham Palace by surprise, announcing they're packing up and moving to North America.
Behind the scenes, the royal family in turmoil. Meghan has left the UK and now returned to Canada, where baby Archie has been staying with their nanny. Harry staying in England to face the growing firestorm. Crisis talks continuing. Palace staff, the Queen, along with Prince Charles and brothers Will and Harry, all striving to find some sort of compromise for the Sussex's new role.
ABC's Julie McFarlane in London. This is ABC News.
Indeed Ideas.
And now the moment of truth. Time to decide who gets this job. Here's what I'm going to do. First, go through the notes that I took in the interviews. Then I'm going to factor in the feedback I got from my current employees. So basically, I'm looking for someone who has the skills to do the job and who aligns with our company values.
Are you hiring?
With Indeed, you can post a job in minutes, set up screener questions, then zero in on qualified candidates in an online dashboard. Get started at Indeed.com/hire.
Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Classic radio weather.
Here's your KOZY weatherology forecast. Lots of sunshine outside this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 8 above. Northeasterly winds around 5 miles per hour. Cloudy skies tonight, lows dip down to about 2 below. Overcast skies tomorrow, chance for snow showers, highs level off around 18. 1 to 3 inches of snow tomorrow night through Monday night. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Right now, 18 below.
Here we go. One receiver left, 3 right. Cousins shotgun, Dalvin Cook to his left. 3rd and goal from the 4. Kirk takes the snap, looks right, fade left, end zone, and it is caught! Touchdown!
There's a touchdown.
Amazing decision by Kirk Cousins. He saw the all-out blitz. He knew he had Rudolph one-on-one with the corner. Rudy! And just threw the jump ball. Oh, what a beautiful throw.
Has been confirmed. It is a touchdown. The game is over.
Bonjour, San Francisco, and au revoir, New Orleans Saints.
KOZY. Welcome back to the Sports Issue. I'm Jojo Leotti, happy to be joined by Vikings radio analyst Pete Bursich. Pete, how are you?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well also. So tell me, where does last weekend's win against the Saints, where does that rank as far as just fun games to be a part of?
Well, it was, what was fascinating when you look at the game is we hadn't won a playoff game on the road since I was coaching. And I remember it as a coach and how, just how awesome it was and how rewarding it was to win a playoff game, period. But to win one on the road, that's a big deal. And yet again, to do it against the Saints, a team that's 13-3, a team that many of the pundits picked to be in the Super Bowl. I mean, it was a big win. And if they can win on that stage in that environment against that team, it's hard to count them out of anything.
And how nerve-wracking was it when Dalvin Cook fumbles, but thankfully his knee was down? How nerve-wracking was that time when they looked at it? Because Saints would have had a touchdown otherwise.
Yeah, it was, that's the thing. I mean, early on in the game, Thielen fumbles the football, and they were able to hold on and make the Saints kick field goals, which that was a big deal because the Saints in the red zone had scored 12 out of the last 14 times going into that game. So they're one of the better red zone teams in the league. But to hold them to a field goal attempt was huge. But then, to see that turnover at that time or what you thought was a turnover at that time. That might be the Viking fan in me, the fatalist Viking fan in me. That it's just like you get there and you're right where you need to be, and then you find a way to blow it. But fortunately, they have replay in the NFL, and that play was overturned, and the Vikings went on to win.
Hey, I was thinking the same thing with the fatalist Viking fan, just waiting for it to fall apart, and then there it is. Okay, that's how it's going to be.
Yeah, and you have every reason to be. I understand completely how people, when Viking fans look at things that way, and all I got to say is some year and someday it'll be our year, and who knows? And this year could be, this year is as good as any for that, but. All you need to do in this situation is have a few things go your way, and that's what makes the NFL so unique. It's a one game. There's no 7-game series. There's none of that. It's who's ever better on that given day. Is going to advance, and the other team's going to go home. So stakes are unbelievably high. You figure almost 5.5 months of work put in to just get to that point. And then to risk it all on one Sunday, that's what makes it, one of the greatest sports there is.
Chatting with Vikings analyst Pete Bercich here on the Sports Issue, and I think getting lost by some, Pete, with the winning touchdown to Rudolph, maybe getting lost is the long bomb to Adam Thielen just before that. Was that the most important throw, perhaps, of Kirk Cousins' career?
It might have been. I mean, you look, you look at Thielen and early in the game with the fumble. He had a pass that he had dropped. And in life, like in football, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And, we needed that big catch out of him at the end, and he came up with it. And I'll say this, the touchdown pass that Cousins threw was a thing of beauty because the Saints were all out blitzing. There were two guys that were free to the quarterback. He saw it right away. And the snap was a little low into the outside, and as soon as he got that thing up, he threw it right where it needed to go, and it was right on target. And they get paid a lot of money to make things look easy, but for a quarterback to make that split-second decision and go to the right spot is a big deal. Let alone the fact that he threw that ball exactly where it needed to be. So that I think was the biggest play and the biggest throw of Kirk Cousins' career, just because he knew the defense he was going to see, what he had to do, and he executed it.
And do you think, Pete, with that win by Cousins and the Vikings on the road, being big underdogs, do you think Kirk is in the good graces of most Vikings fans now, no matter what happens the rest of the season?
He is today, right? We'll see we'll see how everybody thinks about it tonight after the game's over. The thing is the difference that Dalvin Cook makes. And I don't, and for Dalvin, he looked fresh again. And, so many of those runs that were could have been 3 or 4 yards turned out to be 7, 8, or 9 because of second effort, because he's fresh. And I think this offense and how it's set up will go as far as Dalvin Cook's legs will take them. Kirk Cousins is not a guy that you want to drop back in the pocket 25, 30 times a game. You want him moving, you want him rolling out, and the only way to do that is the threat of the run, which Dalvin Cook provides. And it was as evident on last Sunday, as it's ever been. So Dalvin Cook is the difference maker, and not just because he's such a good player, but because of what the offense schematically can do and what defenses have to do when that man is on the field.
And I saw reports this week of an ankle injury for Adam Thielen. What can you tell us about that, and what are you hearing about his status for tonight?
Well, I don't know. He's questionable going into the game. If it is a cut, and not nothing else like that, that's, I think, good news, because then it's going to be as tolerated for pain. So we'll see.
And also Linval Joseph and Jaron Kearse listed as questionable this week. How important are those guys to the Vikings?
Well, yeah, I think Linval Joseph is going to his presence is going to be huge. I think that's one balance in this game which will heavily favor the Vikings, and I think that's the physicality of our defensive line. And they need to dominate. Those front four guys really need to dominate this week because these 49er running backs, there's three of them. They have a lot of speed. You're going to have to dominate up front, and Linval Joseph is a huge, huge part of that physicality up front, and we need him on every single snap, on every first and second down. We need a guy like him. Plus, the 49ers are without Person, their right guard, so we'll have a backup guard, and then you're also going to have a backup center as well. So that's where Linval lives, and we need a guy like that to play with the 49ers and some of their injury problems.
What kind of challenges do the 49ers present to the Vikings tonight?
Defensively, they are very, very, very fast. Their defensive linemen are very quick, very fast. I watched a lot of the Seattle game from a couple weeks ago, and Seattle did put points up on the board, but they didn't do it through 20 and 30 and 40 and 50-yard plays. They did it 4 yards at a time. So that means, the Viking offense will probably face some long drives. And when you're doing that, you've got to make sure you don't have any penalties. You got to make sure that, nothing sets you back. But that they have a plethora of speed and athleticism on defense, and that's one of the biggest challenges, I think, for our offense.
And what areas do you think the Vikings have the edge on the 49ers?
Well, I think up front, I talked about the defensive line. I think that's going to be the biggest, the biggest matchup. You're going to have, you're going to see a lot more, I think, of Eric Wilson today because the 49ers, they play with Juszczyk, the fullback, and Kittle, the tight end. So you're going to see a lot more of a three-linebacker defense instead of just a nickel situation. So you're not going to see as much, I think, of Sendejo out on the slot like we did last week against the Saints. We're going to have to match their, up front. If the D-line can contain the offensive line, we have three linebackers that can definitely run, and I have every confidence that Eric Wilson is going to be able to, he's a guy that you don't want to run away from because he'll chase it. He's not a 250-pound guy that's going to be taking on blocks all day.
And are you still coaching high school ball, Pete?
Yes, I'm at Hill Murray School in East St. Paul, so I get my fix of the high school kids, and I'm able to watch the professionals play on Sunday. So it's all football all the time, and I love it. I'm very lucky.
Football going on today. Vikings, 49ers, divisional round, 2:30 pregame. 3:30 kick on 96.9 KMFY, your home for Vikings football. We've been visiting with radio analyst Pete Bercich. Pete, great work all season long, and let's hope we have at least a few more games after today.
I certainly hope so. I tell you what, I've been in this. I remember 2009 being in the Superdome and seeing my cup of coffee sway with the people dancing. After they scored a touchdown, and to hear 80,000 people go absolutely silent was as remarkable as hearing 80,000 people go crazy. So hopefully we'll be able to silence another crowd tonight or this afternoon, and I'm looking forward to it.
Vikings and 49ers today in the divisional round. Pete, thanks for your time.
All right, thank you, and Skol Vikings.
And we'll take a break on the sports issue. We'll be back on KOZY.
Hi, this is Denny Holzman, Doctor of Physical Therapy at Grand Itasca. As a member of the Grand Itasca Sports Medicine team, I'm happy to help expand our coverage to my hometown of Hill City. Now providing training room time and sideline coverage, we're able to support more local athletes, ensuring safe play and prompt injury care. The Grand Itasca Sports Medicine team is your first call for sports injury care. We'll get you back to the game as soon and safely as possible.
Grand Itasca, part of Fairview Health Services.
If your windows stick, slip, squeak, or leak, Replace them with Andersen windows. With low E-glass, low maintenance exteriors, and rich wood interiors, standard and custom sizes, they can turn simple window replacement into serious home improvement.
Stop and see Derek, your Andersen window specialist at Andersen Glass, Grand Rapids.
Super One Foods is ready for a new year with the same great quality, fresh products and service. On sale this week, New York strip steak, $6.96 a pound, and boneless, skinless, fresh chicken breast, $1.66 a pound family pack. No meal is complete without your greens. Pick up Fresh Express baby spinach, leafy green romaine, or other salad blends, 11-ounce bag, $1.99. Or maybe you're wanting to serve a fruit salad, 6-ounce raspberries, blackberries, or blueberries, 2 for $5. Super One Foods, proud to be a part of your community.
I'm Andy Klocko.
And I'm Tasha Klocko.
And we own and operate Klocko Brewing Company. And at the brewery we have a tap room where people can come in and buy beer to go or sit down and have a pint.
We also have craft soda and tea for non-beer drinkers as well.
We work with Wayne Bruns. He's our commercial loan officer.
More like family now and our biggest supporter in personal banking.
Yeah, we have our personal banking, Kasasa, and the Saver account. Oh, love it. Yeah. We're like family and definitely a great partner to have. All the folks up front have always been extremely helpful. Melissa and Tyler especially, see them on a weekly basis.
Yes, right.
Woodland to us came very highly recommended from multiple people in the community. Kind of hit it off with everyone right away and sort of felt like the right thing.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
That's the Woodland way.
Freak yeah, Jimmy John's.
Freak yeah, what if I just needed one sandwich delivered?
Freak yeah, we can do that.
What about 100 sandwiches?
Freak yeah, we can do that.
What about 24 sandwiches?
Freak yeah, we can do that.
67 sandwiches?
Freak yeah, we can do that.
You know, 67's a prime number.
Freak yeah, a whole number greater than one whose only factors are one in itself, I know.
Great. I'll take one turkey tom, please.
Freak yeah, one turkey tom, on the way. Freaky fresh, freaky fast, Jimmy John's, freak yeah.
Minnesota News Network, I'm Brent Palm. A disappointing 6% support for Senator Amy Klobuchar in a new Iowa poll. Bernie Sanders leads the Des Moines Register survey with 20% support. Hamline University's David Schultz says part of Klobuchar's problem might be that her rivals have better name recognition nationally.
Could just simply be that the positions that she's taken out of range of issues are not resonating with those people who are in Iowa.
Klobuchar is qualified for Tuesday's 7th Democratic primary debate in Des Moines. Doctor from Minnesota identified as one of 3 victims killed in an avalanche at Silver Mountain in Idaho. The Shoshone County Sheriff says the body of 33-year-old Molly Hubbard of Minneapolis was recovered Thursday. University of Minnesota Neurosurgery acknowledged her death, saying Hubbard graduated from its residency program last year and was working in Portland, Oregon. This is MNN.
I made us appointments to get vaccinated.
I already got the flu vaccine.
There are other diseases we can protect ourselves from. I don't have time to get sick or take care of a husband who doesn't listen to his wife.
I do a lot to stay healthy.
Well, so does Bob, but he's still got shingles, and Lena got whooping cough.
Don't wait. Vaccinate. It's one more thing you can do to stay healthy. To learn more, talk to your healthcare professional. Go to cdc.gov/vaccines or call 1-800-CDC-INFO.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. With honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be shared with friends or family. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So don't they hear you? Classic Radio weather.
Here's your KOZY weatherology forecast. Lots of sunshine outside this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 8 above. Northeasterly winds around 5 miles per hour. Cloudy skies tonight, lows dip down to about 2 below. Overcast skies tomorrow, chance for snow showers, highs level off around 18. 1 to 3 inches of snow tomorrow night through Monday night. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Right now, 18 below.
He has it behind his own net. Kiernan stops, goes, gives it right to Ben Trombley in front. Ben Trombley, that's a goal, and that's a 2-goal lead with 2:47 left. He comes in fairly fast, drives to the backhand, and he taps it in. That looked too easy.
Slowed it down. Good job. Nice play, kid. Attaboy, Mitchie. Nice play. Come on, Jim Hander. Hat trick.
Right off the opening draw, or that draw after the face-off. How did Jernander get it? I was writing stuff
Christian
down.
Miller fed him right down the pipe like he always does. Nice job, Micah. Nice hat trick, kid. Attaboy, 17.
Feeding to the front, Trombley, spin around, beautiful pad save. There's the goal. Kate Predovich.
Attaboy, Kate Predovich.
Some sounds from the Greenway hockey season so far. Welcome back to the Sports Issue on KOZY. Joe Gigliotti, Sheldon Willis, and we have a whole crew of Raiders with us.
Yeah, we had to bring out some more chairs. Greenway out in force. We have head coach Grant Clafton, as well as Ben Trombley, Mitchell Vekic. See if I can get them all right. Brock Trebojevic, Micah Jernander, and Christian Miller. Did I get everyone right and in order? All right. And on the YouTube stream, if you want to head to the website, there'll be a link right there at kozyradio.com. You can actually see that everyone's awake and alive and ready to go. Ben, you were saying you were glad we didn't ask you for the 8:30 slot.
Oh yeah, had a game last night and just want to get some sleep, and nice to sleep in a little bit.
So Micah, and that was why we gave you the 9:30 slot, because you had to play last night. Last night's game was not the result you wanted, and as I was looking, seeing the tweets and updates from the game, it looked like you guys came out of the gate fast and just didn't get rewarded in the first period.
Yeah, I thought we came out pretty hard in the first period. We got a lot of shots. We weren't able to bury any pucks, and kind of went into the second period with got into a little bit of penalty trouble, but I still thought we had a good second period. But third period, I think we let the game get away from us. We got a little down, and yeah, we just didn't. I don't think we finished on our opportunities last night.
So is it hard when you get in a game like that, when you've been playing well, Micah, and then all of a sudden you're down? Brock. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong guy. Brock. Okay. And when you've been playing well but you're still down, is it hard to keep focus? Is it easy to get down?
You can say that. Like, it's kind of easy to get down. You're working hard for goals, but they're not popping in, so you kind of get a little frustrated, and that's when things can go bad quickly.
And Micah, we get the right name with the right guy here. Micah, just as we were chatting before the game, or before this segment, Coach was saying you've been getting some great chances. They just need to start going for you.
Yeah, I've been hitting the net a lot lately, but I need to start finding a way to put them in. I've had a lot of great days, but I need to bear down a little bit. Maybe have a little more poise on some of my breaks than that.
So you've been getting good shots. So you need to find the back of the net instead of the front of the goaltender.
Yeah, for sure.
and Christian, this has been a season the last couple weeks, especially with quite a few injuries. You played with not a lot of guys on the ice here the last couple weeks. Did it feel like back at Bantams with all the ice time?
Yeah, it was definitely a interesting time. I mean, it was a lot of ice time, which was good for the team. We got in shape, and having extra guys come back now, it feels like it's a lot easier.
It's almost a vacation now. Yeah, you got another defenseman to come on.
Yeah, it's that extra 4 guys coming back. It helps a lot with the team.
And Mitchell, you were one of the guys that was out for a few games, right? Run down kind of who missed some games, and is everyone back in 100% now?
Yeah, so I missed 2 games with a concussion, and Bodie missed 3 games with a concussion. And then I think Ben missed 1 game with his ankle. So we're all back now. I think we missed the Hibbing and Holy Family games, and the North Shore game was kind of everyone's their first game back. And so now rolling into this weekend, everyone is healthy. We've had a full week of practice, and I think everyone's good to go.
So, and I was talking to Tom Downing, who called the the game against North Shore. He said everyone was back. The energy looked good, but it just didn't look smooth yet.
Oh yeah, I think that had to do a little bit with our guys being gone for a while. You know, you take a week off and you lose like your hands a little bit and stuff. So we're just getting back, and you know, we had chances that we just didn't bury on, but we're starting to get back now.
So Brock, talk a little bit about the differences this year and last year, and everyone I think around the area says, well, last year state runner-ups and so on, but this time last year it wasn't like the team was lighting it up either.
Yeah, like just like last year, like we had our rough streak on our we went like first 2 games we won, then we went on that losing streak, and it's like a lot like this year, but like we just got to power through and keep going like we did last year.
And there's a lot of tough teams on the schedule. You talk about Grand Rapids, you know, certainly Roseau, a double-A team. You got Hermantown coming in next week. Do you like playing these top teams, or sometimes you say, hey, we'd love to beat up on somebody?
No, it's good to play the top teams, so then you're ready towards the end of the year. If you're playing the teams that aren't as strong, then you're not going to be prepared at the end of the year, and you'll be out in the first round pretty much.
And you know, last year, you know what it took to finally get past Hermantown. Hermantown might even be a little better this year. Is that in your mind to say, hey, we have that knowledge of how good we need to play to make it happen?
Yeah, I think we're fully capable of beating Hermantown. I mean, we're a little bit different team this year. I mean, we gotta work a little bit harder, but I mean, otherwise, working hard, we're just gonna get past Hermantown. I mean.
And Ben, I know we've talked to you before on the air. Maybe a little more team leadership coming down on your shoulders this year. Do you feel it that way or not really?
We actually everyone in here is captain, and you know, we're stepping up, and guys are being leaders, and we need that. So that's big.
So Mitch, do you look at it with the guys that are gone from last year, like a Dante, Nikolai, some of those guys? Do you say we have to try to be leaders, or does it just happen?
I think it kind of happens. I think obviously I don't think we've peaked at the leadership spot yet. I think that's something that we're all learning, and we're going to get better at that throughout the year.
You mentioned you're back from a concussion, Mitch. What were some of the symptoms that you went through?
I actually felt really good. I still don't remember the day of the concussion. So, like, that whole Orono game is, like, gone, yeah. But
that's a little scary.
Yeah, but I wasn't, like, nauseous or anything. Like, it was, like, 2 days later, I felt like I was, like, back. I was, you know, up and moving around. I was driving my parents crazy, so I wanted to leave the house. But, no, I think I felt pretty good the whole time, though. It wasn't really anything crazy.
And it's a very specific protocol to go through. You have to clear certain tests. Is that kind of what was the medical part of that as far as getting cleared to play again?
I had to take the concussion test like 3 times, I think it was. I felt like I was in that doctor's office every day. But I actually did better on the concussion test with a concussion than I did when I took it, like, without one.
Well, that should clear you to play quickly, right?
That's what I thought, too.
And what did they say? No?
They made me do, like, the 5-step thing, so I think Justin Paratello ran me through the whole thing, and he said if I did my whole 5-step thing, I would be back the Monday before the North Shore game, which is when I got back on the ice.
And Coach, how much has focus on concussions, head injuries in general changed since when you played high school and college?
A total 180. You know, Mitchell's situation was, you know, a little bit more severe than, you know, a bump and a headache. You know, I mean, I think it's certainly something you got to look at when you have something like he has, when there's a memory loss, when there's confusion, when, you know, balance is an issue. And, you know, I mean, Mitchell's not one of those kids that lays down and wants to play. So, you know, when he comes back and he's woozy and you ask him, you know, how are you? And the answer is, well, I don't know what time I got hit. You know that it's time to shut him down,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I think
Right.
that's a severity, you know, that you got to make sure that you take care of the player on. But yeah, I mean, it's certainly changed over the course of time. Where I think a situation like Mitchell's it's pretty good to take a week off, and because that can be pretty severe. But back in the day, that you didn't know where you were at, and you'd play the next day.
I'm sure you've done that before.
I've had that experience, yes.
And that's what's probably messed him up, guys.
Yeah. A lot of truth to that.
And has it been an adjustment? And you've coached this team for a number of years. You've coached other teams before. Is every year a bit of an adjustment to say, how does this team respond to coaching?
Yeah, it is. I mean, some of the kids are, more sensitive. Some of them can really take a
chewing
good
out
beating. Yeah, I mean, you never want to try to beat somebody up,
Yep.
Hard, but at the same time, like, you're trying to get them to, actually give more than they think they're capable of, and sometimes you need that little push. And as far as that goes, I mean, I think that most of the kids respond the same way, and it's as far as like they come together. I mean, you got to get to them a different way, but the hope, you hope that they can. You hope that they can kind of rally together as a team and build off of, maybe it's hatred for me or frustration. You know what I mean? Like, you pretty much take any steps that you can take to get there, but at the same time letting them know that you believe in them and you're not quitting on them. And the reason why you get upset, or the reason why you push, or the reason why you ask, is because that's the expectation that they have. As long as you don't ask kids to do something they're incapable of doing, I think it's totally fine.
Now you got Grand Rapids coming in tonight. Is this still as big a rivalry as what everyone talks about, Christian?
Yeah, we're extremely ready for this game. I think, I don't think we hate each other off the ice as much.
Okay.
But we definitely on the ice we are enemies, and it's bragging rights, and we want to win.
Well, and you've won the last 2 years, Micah, is saying, hey, we're gonna take another one here on our home ice.
Yeah, for sure. I think that it'd mean a lot if this senior class can go out with 3 wins and be undefeated against Rapids. That'd mean a lot for the class.
Brock, does Coach remind you that as a player he never beat Greenway?
Oh yeah, he told us last night that he went 0-7 against Greenway in his high school career.
Says, and Mitchell, you talk about, there's Elite League, there's other places where I'm sure a lot of you guys have played hockey with some of the Grand Rapids guys. Does that change anything, or does it make it even sweeter to get a win and give even more motivation?
I think it makes it a little bit more sweeter, because you'll see them in the skating in Rapids after the season. They have those open ices, and you'll see them, and there's some chirping back and forth, before the season, and now after the season, it's always nice to, reminisce back to that game.
And Ben, I think in the past maybe there was more of an actual hatred for actually between areas and people than what there is now. Does it make the game, while there's still the rivalry, does it make the game a little more civil, where you're not worried about the game getting out of hand, chippiness, and that kind of thing now?
I think it goes back to what Christian said, like off ice, we're not as like harsh to each other, I don't think, but like on ice it's still, pretty intense, and there's a lot of people there, and like the emotions are high, and so like you don't know what's gonna happen out there. We both want to win so bad, so.
And again, we reminded people in the first hour, we'll remind people again, noon to 2, pre-sale tickets at Hodgins Berardo if you don't want to stand in the cold in line tonight. And Grant, any difference this year, because you and Wade have coached together quite a bit? I was going to ask Coach Chido about this in the first, in our 8:30 segment, and I didn't. But does that make a difference? Because you guys know each other pretty well. You've coached together a lot. You're very good friends off the ice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, no, I think that, both teams are going to come ready to play. Both it's going to come down to who's going to work harder and who's going to stay disciplined, and just the same cliches that you put into every other game. I think, ultimately this is a rivalry game and it's special to both towns, and I know the tradition behind the game is going to mean something and it's going to trickle down into the kids, and I really just think it's going to come down to what team works harder on the ice and what team wants it more.
And I think you told me last time we talked, I'm going to have to come up with some new stuff. Wade knows all my stuff.
Yeah.
You have any new wrinkles ready for tonight?
Yeah, we got a couple new ones that we'll throw at them.
Right. So, are you excited about the new wrinkles, or is it not that big a deal? You just got to go play, Chris.
Well,
you
we don't know. We don't know the wrinkles yet.
You don't even know yet, so you can't even. I wasn't going to try to get anyone to tell me what they were. So,
no, we're just gonna go play our game, listen to coach, and I think we'll succeed.
And time to convert on a couple chances, Micah.
Yeah, for sure. You just start putting the puck in the back of the net a little bit more and see if we can all put a full game together, not play a half game.
And Rapids has certainly had some success this year, and we've talked about the fact there's some familiarity between the teams. Brock, what do you know about Grand Rapids, or what do you expect when you analyze Grand Rapids? What do you say? This is what's going to be the big challenge tonight.
They got some good players. Jack Peart, their defense. He's one of the main guys we got to focus on. We got to lock him down. Don't let him do so much. And I know they're a great team. They're playing some. They beat Duluth East. What was it, 2-3 nights ago? I remember that. So they're a pretty good team.
Did you guys have a game that night, or did you come watch that game?
I watched it on the Up North Hockey on YouTube.
Okay. And were any of you guys there?
I did not go to the game, but I watched some of the highlights.
Okay.
That were on Up North Hockey.
Okay, because I wanted that was one of those weird games. I don't know if other teams are going to play that way against Rapids, but it was really a neutral zone clog, a neutral zone trap all night. Have you played teams that do that? Just try to not forecheck and just put everyone in the neutral zone and try to slow things down, Ben?
We have, and it's kind of nice for our D. They get to come up the ice fast with speed and make a play since they're not forechecking. So,
do you like when a team plays a trap on you, Christian? It's like, hey, I got 75 feet to work with here before I have to worry about anything.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to have time and space. You get to make the right play. Sometimes it doesn't turn out the way you want it to be because you don't know what to do sometimes. But taking the puck up the ice with more time it's nice to have more time, I guess.
I can't see you as being a trap type of coach.
No, really not. What? It's hard to teach, actually. At this level, it's a lot of angling, it's a lot of positional play, and you all need to be on the same page. And you're trying to get people to come to the middle of the rink and turn the pucks over when everybody's already taught to go wide. So, it's tough to do. Teams have tried it against us in the past, and we've kind of ate it up. And if you're willing to chip pucks and then support it, you got a pretty good chance. It can be effective in the neutral zone if you can slow teams down and slow their speed down. But I think it takes away from we're all trying to win and all that stuff. So, but at the same time, these guys all want to play after high school, and there's a development process there. And to ask Brock and Christian to skate the puck up and dump it in, and Ben Trombley to forecheck, and Micah and Mitchell to just forecheck and chase, I don't think it does a lot for development.
It's not pretty hockey, that's for sure.
It's not fun to watch, and it's not really effective in a lot of ways, other than if you're looking to win a game, 1-0, 2-1, and basically you have to win the special teams battle. And I think that playing wide open and moving the puck is the best way to go about it.
So what would your response be, Brock, if coach came out with a trap and said, "Here, we're going to play this against Germantown"?
Well, us for the defense.
He already said he's not going to do it, so.
I'd be kind of surprised after you just said that, but us defense hanging back, and then the forwards would be setting up a trap. So I don't really know.
Yeah, and Mitchell, Chris Marinucci said this to me. He said, when the coach first told me to dump it in, I said, why should I worked so hard to get the puck. Why should I give it up now? Is that how you feel coming through neutral ice? Why should I give up the puck on my own?
Sometimes. I guess when you got time and space, you don't want to dump it. But sometimes it is better to move the puck. I think better to move the puck to like someone in one of your teammates, like on the sidewall, and get it back rather than dumping it in. But if you're under pressure, I see dumping it in.
Ben, how do you feel about dump and chase overall?
I mean, there's a time and a play,
but not when the time and the place is when someone else has the puck, not when you have it.
Well, no, like when you don't have any space.
A 1-on-5 guy.
You don't have any space. You obviously want to dump it in and get on the forecheck and cause a turnover down low and go to the net with it. But when you're running that trap, you don't get much offensive opportunities, because you're always dumping it in and like you don't even forecheck really.
No. And like we said, it doesn't make for pleasing hockey as a fan, does it?
No, it's boring, and I mean, obviously there's a time and a place to implement the red line and get pucks deep. Usually if you have a lead with 2 minutes to go, or or if you're playing 6-on-5 hockey and you have a lead, you want to chip zones and simple things like that. But other than that, I mean, it's puck support and encouraging the kids to move the puck and make opportunities for themselves. Actually, USA Hockey did a study about that dump and chase, and you actually, it's irrelevant. You lose the puck more often. You don't have the puck as much on your stick. You don't win typically those battles, because one way to fix the dump and chase is you just sag your offside defenseman back, and they should be the first guy back to the puck every single time.
Right.
So,
right.
I mean, it's a pretty easy adjustment if teams are doing that.
Well, and I thought that's what Duluth East did out of their trap is sag the weak side back and tried to take away that dump.
And that's, if any coach can teach that method, it's Mike Randolph. And, he does. He sags back the offside defenseman. I mean, he runs a structured clockwork system, and they stick to it the whole game. And that's why, teams of his that aren't as high-end as usual, they're always in games.
Yeah.
Because they're so disciplined and they do the system to a T.
So we're not expecting that kind of up and down game. It's more of a puck possession. Talk a little bit about puck possession, because that's what the game has become, right, Micah? Is the team that has the puck on their stick the most is going to win.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Obviously, if the team that's going to have it on their,
we'll move you up towards the mic a little bit. There you go.
Team with the puck on their stick is going to win the game, because they're going to be winning more battles. They're going to be moving the puck, and they're going to be getting guys out of position on the other team.
And what's the key to winning those one-on-one battles down low? Because I think that's an underrated part of the game, but there's so many 50-50 pucks, down low in the corner. Coming out with it is a big deal.
It's all about who wants it more. More works harder for the puck, comes out with it.
So it's all about desire. It's a little about skill too, Mitch.
A little bit.
Mitchell. Yeah, anyone call you Mitch?
Sometimes.
Okay.
There's a little skill, having nice hands to get the puck in out of your feet, but I think it is more of a gut check, and if you're willing to, get that puck out, chip it out, or if you're willing to, just fight for body position, I think that that's bigger than the skill.
And Ben, I've watched you. Brock mentioned Jack Peart. I've obviously seen him a lot this year. The good players don't panic in tight situations. Is that part of it, just being able to be patient and not panic when you're in tight quarters?
Yeah, definitely. You have to have poise and you have more time than you think. And I don't know, a lot of it is body position in order to be patient. If you have good body position, they're not going to be able to get the puck, and you have more time.
So how do you teach that in practice? That whole battle for the puck. Do you have drills that specifically work on that?
Yeah, I mean, every now and again you do hamburger drills, small area games where you put two guys in front, 2-on-1 in front, shot, fight for pucks. We'll do some wall wraps here and there that are a lot, just chipping the pucks, and it's a lot of it, like Mitchell said, is just body positioning and willing to get underneath. A lot of times when you're losing one-on-one battles on the wall, it's because you're using your upper body and you're not using your legs and you're not staying on the D side of the puck and you do a lot of reaching. And, basically that stuff is just habit. But he said it best. Number one, you got to be willing to do it. And there are kids that just, they're not willing to, get dirty in that area and really fight,
And when you hear a coach say we weren't moving our feet, that's exactly what he was
That's
talking
what it
about.
is. It's not because they're not skating fast up and down the ice trying to forecheck. It's standing and reaching and trying to win one-on-one battles with their forearms, rather than their legs and getting underneath other guys.
So Christian, some of the talk here has been about getting low and getting leverage and getting position. Is that tougher for someone that's taller like you? Guys can get underneath you a little quicker.
I don't really have that problem. There's a lot of guys that are smaller than me, but they aren't as strong as me,
Okay.
So I can just
Hold them off?
Hold them off. But, the tallness factor doesn't really affect me.
Okay. I asked this of the Grand Rapids kids. Who's the toughest guy on your team in practice to take the puck off their stick? We'll start with Christian. Who's the toughest guy on your team in practice to take the puck off their stick?
I'd have to say
Ben?
Ben. Ben's a stub on the ice. It's so hard to get him on the ground.
He's short, okay. Mike?
I think it would be Ben. He's a little shifty sometimes out there, so it's hard to take it.
Everyone's voting for Ben on this one? Mitchell, you can vote for yourself,
Do I get to say it?
Yeah.
I think Ben gets pretty lucky sometimes.
I think Coleman Groshon, he's pretty good out there. He gets low and it's hard to get off the stick.
Okay. Are you going to vote for Ben too?
Yeah, I would.
Picking your kids.
I would say it's it's hard to get the puck off of Ben's stick. I also think it's hard to get the puck off of Dakota Thonis' stick sometimes, just because he's such a big player and he's good at moving north with it. He doesn't always keep control of it, but not very often. Unless he gives the puck up himself, it's hard to get it from him.
Okay.
Because he can kind of buffalo his way through up the wall, and I've kind of seen that, and he's made some strides in that way.
Are you still confident in this year's team? It was 6-0 loss last night. We talked about that a little bit. Are you confident that this team will be where it needs to be come late February, early March?
Yeah, I am. I don't question that. I think the schedule plays a big part in it. I think that every single year, January is a very tough month for whatever reason. At whatever level you're playing at, January is always a tough month, and we're finding what works. And last night, even before the game, we get a guy back that kind of throws a wrinkle into it that I didn't know was coming back, and a couple other guys come back into the mix that it's like, okay, now we gotta work these guys in and figure that stuff out. It's about a 15 to 16 game process of figuring out where you're at, and each game is just a measuring stick on what you need to work on. And last night is a good telltale for us in the fact that I thought that we came out in the first period, we outshot them 18-9. We had a great opportunities to score goals. I feel the game plan worked. And as the game went on and our center gets higher and we get undisciplined on the penalties, and then all of a sudden it kind of goes down. You know what I mean? And I think with this group, it just comes down to, fighting through the adversity. They're kids. They're 15, 16, 17 years old. Human nature says, well, it's out of reach, so might as well back down, and you got to fight through that. And, once we're able to fight through that, I think we're going to be okay. But yeah, I have full confidence they'll come around.
So, we're really running out of time, but I know the last few years this game has been the first game of the season. Do you like it with Grand Rapids? Do you like it here in the middle of the season instead?
I like it in the middle of the season. We have more time to prepare, and I feel like it's a better game overall because they have more time to prepare, we have more time to prepare, and I feel like it's overall just a better game.
Yeah, get a little better hockey than you would if you started the season with this game, Micah?
Yeah, for sure. A lot of guys will have their games going by the middle of the season, and it'll be a lot cleaner game.
Well, thanks for coming in, and good luck tonight. We're looking forward to a full house and a good time tonight.
Thank you.
Greenway Hockey, that's Mitchell Vekic, Ben Trombley, Brock Trebojevic, Micah Jernander, Christian Miller, and head coach Grant Clafton. And that will do it for today's sports issue. And a big thank you to our guests and our sponsors, Grand Itasca Clinic and Hospital, Jimmy John's, Anderson Glass, Dondelinger Ford, McDonald's, Woodland Bank, and Super One Foods. For Sheldon Willis, I'm Joe Gigliotti. We'll do it again next Saturday morning, the sports issue on KOZY. Have a great weekend.
Classic Hit Radio, 1320 KOZY Grand Rapids, and FM 93.1.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Iran now admitting missiles fired by the revolution.